welcome you all for a very enlightening system of medicine, no touch cure. Never touch the patient, but you must cure the patient. How is it possible? Belief is cure. Belief is life. Belief is achievement. Belief is the only way towards achieving whatever you have in your mind. When this has been my field, even as an undergraduate, while I am studying in Stanley Medical College, Madras, as an undergraduate, I was asking the professor, the father of medicine, that is the third year we study pharmacology. Father of medicine says, even if you don't cure a patient, don't harm the patient. Very important. But when I read the first few drugs, say sulfonamide or aspirin, just to cure a few, not to cure, but to relieve a few of the symptoms, a pain or an inflammation, we get at least 19 or 20 side effects. How is it possible? Father of medicine says, if you cannot cure, don't harm the patient, leave him alone. But when it comes to the treatment, just to relieve, not to cure, relieve the pain from a disease, to treat a patient symptomatically, which is very empirical and unscientific. Unless we know the reason behind the disease, the causative factor, it is impossible that as a doctor, medical doctor of modern medicine scientific approach, we can touch even the patient. And empirical and symptomatic treatment is a fake treatment. I was asking my professor told me, there are so many whys in whys in modern medicine for which there is no answer at all. If you want to pass through your examination, don't ask questions, just read it, write it, and get through the examinations. That was the first blow to me that I wanted to be a doctor, but never really I will be a doctor. Even if I get through my examinations, I will never practice the system of medicine forever, not even as a veterinary practice, it is not advisable. That's what I felt. So I wanted to question more and more and more. Then there is a biochemistry. The biochemistry says you have got a lot of organisms in your body, say gram-positive, negative, so many organisms that we know. We know that infection caused by microorganisms, that is sufficient for us. We don't have to get into the details of what exactly those organisms are. So these organisms are necessary to give you immunity to the body. But when it comes to the treatment, we give antibiotics. One is the probiotic. Biotics, microorganisms are essential for your body. The other thing is what we practice is antibiotic, anti to probiotic. We are killing the microorganisms. They say we have to kill the organisms to cure diseases. The infection must be killed with the microorganisms. If I have a sore throat here, then there is a colony of organisms increasing in its number and size and in its virulence also. That means these organisms are biological in nature that gives me the immunity locally where there is a weakness in my body, like vaccine therapy. In vaccine therapy, we are introducing an organism into the body to cure him, to prevent him from suffering a disease that the organism possibly could cause. So this is in whole the essence of vaccination therapy. In vaccination, we are giving an organism, introducing an organism to create a fake disease to the original disease, so that this organism creates antibodies in you, generates immunity in you, so that it cures the body even before you suffer from a disease. This is called prevention. When I say posting in my clinical meetings, I always question the doctors, I am a headache, when the clinical meetings are there in Stanley Medical Colleges, because I always question allopathy, disregard allopathy, because it speaks one thing and does the other thing, exactly the opposite. I cannot understand why it does so. So when I am posing questions now, you are giving an organism into the body for vaccination. That organism is alive or killed. It is killed. When I fight an enemy, he must be having the virulence to attack me. Then only I will be gearing up to meet his strength by way of exercise or doing this and that, so that I will gear up to meet his power, the inimical power against me. But when you are killing, when the patient is half dead, when my enemy is half dead, where is the question that I will generate the power? My one finger is sufficient to put him down. I don't have to have the immunity at all. When you kill and then pose him before me, attenuated or killed, its virulence is greatly reduced, so it cannot produce any immunity in me unless it has that force against that force. To meet the force in double, triple, quadruple amounts, I have to fight the enemy. Unless the virulence is there, the live organism is there, I cannot increase my immunity. It is impossible. So there is a great fallacy in English system of medicine that any vaccination can prevent a disease from occurring or save a patient from contracting a disease, suffering an illness. It is impossible with vaccination. That is a farce. We shall understand medicine is totally an imaginary subject, a hallucinatory subject. It is said with a vengeance that they want to put down all the systems of medicines available, some 300 to 400 systems of natural medicines available on earth. They want to bring up only allopathy because great money is involved in it. When I come to know of it, there is organism essential for me to create an immunity when I have a sore throat here. This is biological vaccine. 24 hours available biological vaccine. When there is a colony increasing in the number of the organisms, that means my immunity is being strengthened in that part. It is to be respected. Your sore throat must be respected. It should not be removed. And you should not use antibiotics. If you give antibiotics, that means it removes my local immunity. That organism is killed. Another important thing we must understand is this antibiotic, not target oriented, but from my head to toe, all the organisms are eliminated, making me open for attack very soon. Not only here, there is a spread of infection, weakness is caused everywhere because immunity is lost because of the inadvertent use of antibiotics. Antibiotics not target oriented. When there is an infection here, you must treat an infection here. Again, you should not even remove the colony because it is giving me the immunity that is required for me in that part of my body. So on the one hand, they kill the immunity. On the other hand, they infuse the immunity using a dead material, attenuated or killed bacteria or viruses. Absolutely, it is not going to give you any immunity or power against the disease. This is anybody's common sense. The uncommon sense is prevailing, or common nonsense is prevailing in modern medicine. We must be sensible to understand. You have every ingredient in your mind to apply your mind and see whether it is right or wrong. You don't have to be a doctor for it. A doctor must be in a position to teach you in the most communicable way, in plain words, to make you understand he is a real doctor. If you ask me, then he is not a doctor and you are not his patients. Forget about the medicine. And now I am going to teach medicine from a different angle. It is not a medicine, it is pure common sense. I have my energy to speak and eat, digest, circulate, eliminate, and thereafter retaining my health after proper elimination. Once the elimination is there, I am happy. When the elimination is not there, I am suffering. My order of life is I am breathing, I am drinking, and I am eating. All these things are very much essential in order that I start surviving. The first thing is the breathing. And in the breathing, I must understand that I inhale a lot of ingredients, especially the viruses and bacteria. A child born is so feeble, and 3 months later or 4 months later only the immunity starts developing in a baby. Until such time, mother's immunity is holding her. So how I am developing immunity is because I am inhaling a lot of bacteria and viruses, making it my biological source to provide immunity. That's the reason why I am hale and hearty until 6 or 7 months or 8 months are over. Later on, the first disease I contract is the sneezing. Then my indigestion. After that, the fever. I have in my body the greatest ability to withstand the disease, whatever be the intensity or virulence of the organisms that it enters. That my body allows entry. When my body allows the entry of organisms unknown to me, unspecific to me, then my body gears up against it. For my normal activity like water, air, food to digest and my activity to speak and move about, for normal activity what I require is the heat energy. Energy is required. That is the heat energy. That heat energy is 98.4 degrees for normal activity. For normal activity, the heat is 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Suppose I have a disease force is attacking me. A very intense reaction must develop from within me to act against the disease, to fight the disease. The fighting force must have more power than the normal existing force. Whatever I require as an energy for my normal activity is 98.4, but if I have to fight against a disease, a fighting energy must be more intense. This intense energy is increasing in the temperature. Increasing in the temperature means 99.4, 100.4, 101, 2. If this is the way I am fighting against the disease, it requires energy, a lot of energy, a very specific and virulent energy against the inimical forces that is acting against me, then my energy must increase in strength. That increase in strength, the energy has to increase, then the temperature has to increase. The temperature and energy are synergistically working. The more the energy, the more the temperature. The more the temperature, the more the energy. So this energy is increasing now to fight the disease. 99 degrees, 100, 101, 102. Whether this energy is to be respected or to be discarded. To be respected. What we do is, right from the beginning, my energy is traversing throughout the body from head to toe. If only we have some knowledge about acupuncture, we know the meridians. We have heard of the meridians, the energy channels passing from head to toe. Almost all the skin surface is traversed with the energy lines, with intricate mechanism. These energy lines, modern medicine doesn't know. It only sees to believe the things. They must see either microscopically or telescopically. Otherwise they will not believe. Belief is something that you must feel and believe. What you see to believe, there's no need for believing. You're already seeing it. Believing means believing in the unseen, understanding, ability and perceptual quality must be there to believe. Seeing is believing is scientific. There's nothing to believe because you're seeing that. I want to get relieved from some diseases. Say for example a kidney disorder, or name a disease that cannot be cured. Deep within my heart, it says you must be cured. Deep within everybody's heart, whoever is suffering from whatever the diseases may be, the speech inside of you, in the depth of your heart, is that you must be cured. Is there a willingness to cure? Get cured? Yes, I have the willingness. Do you have any way to cure? No way to cure. But how come you are harboring that beautiful interest, that inherent interest, that feel that you must be cured? You have to be believing this. This is your life tomorrow, not the life of the past. The belief there, the good feeling there, whatever has been, my heart has been blessed with, I have to believe. You have not told me, the doctors have not told me, I go to the doctor, first I want to get relief and then believe. I have that relief and belief in me. That relief is, I am having the belief that I will be okay. That relief is that consolation. First is the consolation. Because there is a feeling in me, I must be cured of my diseases. I believe, and there is a relief in me mentally, all mentally now. I go to the doctor thinking that he is a specialist, he can cure me. He sees all the reports and finally tells it's not possible. You will die. You are in the 3rd grade or 4th grade. You will live for 3 months or 6 months. After that, you will die. Is this for what I come here for? Are you a specialist to give me this message that I will die? My heart says I must be cured. You say you will die. I believe you. If I believe you, what will happen to my inner feeling, inner belief that I was housing before I met you? If I take your word, I am dead on the spot. Yet, I don't take your word. Maybe it causes some discomfort to my heart. I may be worried, but I am not grief-struck to die before you. So this internal feel, the blessing that is there as an inherent nature, that is the inbuilt inherent nature to survive on his own. If he believes, then immunity is not enough. Furthermore, the cosmic energy, the entire universal energy is there to support you. This is very important. A belief is not a metaphysical word. It is very much inherent. This belief is conducting you towards tomorrow. If that belief is there, you lose your heart. Even on your final days, they will tell you, when the doctors have washed off their hands of you, then they will say, don't lose the heart. What is there in the heart is the belief, the message. This is the God-given message there. It is the inherent protection force. None can beat this force if you believe. A fever must be respected until such time it comes down. But a doctor gives empirically, unscientifically, symptomatically, a quack practice, they give anti-fever medicine. Once the anti-fever medicine is given, 102, 103, so much is the built-up of fighting force is lost now, totally removed. You are open to more diseases now. When you give your antipyretic, anti-fever pills, what happens is entire body is cooled, here and there, not uniformly. You may see in some people, some children or people, when they suffer a disease, a fever, only the hands will be warm, other parts will be cold. Only the head will be warm, other parts will be cold. Or the head and neck will be cold, the back and front portion will be warm. There is no uniformity. All the vessels, the energy channels are blocked because of inadvertent use of anti-fever medicines. Once the body is cold, when so much is the height of temperature, the body is cold, it is not cooled uniformly, temporarily here and there. We have a brain here divided into two halves. The center of the brain, the front portion is active for your motor activity, and back portion is for sensory activities. The energy going there, traversing through the skin above, all the urinary bladder line, gallbladder line, and the stomach line, everything is traversing throughout your body, giving energy to the entire physical structure so that it survives. Suppose this portion is blocked from before and here. This portion is blocked, frozen because of anti-fever medicines. The first anti-fever medicine that you give to a child are prone for febrile fits later on. Because before and in the back, the blood vessels, the energy vessels are shrunken and frozen, no energy passing. In between, there is heat energy accumulation. Suppose that heat energy accumulation is there in the center of the head. He is prone for febrile fits later on when the fever comes. An infant, a child, should not suffer from febrile fits at all. The first medicine that you give to the child, a fever medicine, once it is cooled, it is not cooling the body, the energy lines totally throughout the body uniformly, but here and there. In case there is a block from front and from behind, then the clogging up of heat energy is there all the time. It finds a way to burst open so that the energy lines are set right. But there must be a fever to increase that energy so that it bursts open, and again the channels are maybe reopened and reunited with the rest of the energy system. What happens now is, during the fits, you are given the medication, again cooling. Extra energy is staying there in the center of your head because energy channels are blocked in both the proximally and distally, front and back. During a fever, further increase in the heat. This heat energy triggers the motor centers and causes the febrile fits. Allow the febrile fits to happen. Whether you give medicine, you don't give medicine, half to 1 minute it will stop. Even before you take him to a doctor, it stops. You may be thinking doctor is giving some injection and he is saved. No way. Stay at home. Even before taking him to the doctor, the fits stop. But we don't tell the patients. We know it pretty well. Don't come to me. A fits is a good process towards cure, and the clogging up of energy will be released during a set of bouts of fits. And during the fever, never give the anti-fever medicine or anti-epileptic pills. Don't give. Don't give sedation to the patient. It gives much more intense future grand mal epilepsy. The whole body will be throwing into fits. Finally, it must become a status epilepticus, unstoppable. You go to the ICU, possibly you will die your death there miserably. I'm not saying fact, I'm not saying statistics. As Dr. B.M. Hegde has said, all the statistics are fraud. We know it pretty well. The moment you write it on paper, it is not absolute. It is half-hearted. It doesn't have any sense. My knowledge has to improve. It doesn't stay in one single condition. It has to improve. If my medical knowledge has to improve, I am so certain my medical knowledge is insufficient. That's the reason why there should be a development in knowledge. Whether you live in 21st century or you live in 21,000th century, there also the knowledge has to develop. Believe in the unseen development. Don't believe in what is visible. Believe in the wisdom. Don't believe in the knowledge. Knowledge is what is existing. Wisdom is what is to be converted into knowledge from the wisdom. Wisdom is unseen. Knowledge is visible. Knowledge is not quite enough for me for my survival and successful life. What I require is the wish that is wisdom, surrounded by the wisdom. Wisdom is unseen. The wish is wisdom. What is projected outward is a small gap through which a fundamental knowledge is given to you so that you can see it visibly. Materially, you can start using it. Knowledge is materialistic. Wisdom is non-material. Wisdom is unseen. Believe in the unseen. My wish is there, that will conduct me towards my future. I must be cured of the disease, I believe, but there is no drugs. Materially, nothing is available for me. So there are no drugs at all. They say that I will die, but I don't want to die. I want to live, which should have the upper hand. Concept-wise, I must live, or based on the insufficient knowledge, I shall die. When they say their insufficiency, inefficiency, you must know that they are ignorant people, masters of ignorance. They are not specialists. Specialized in ignorance and arrogance. That's all. When they can say that you will die, how much of arrogance they must have? They must understand, I do not know. Every single specialist, diabetes or whatever, they must understand to admit and be humble before the eternal source, eternal wisdom. Be humble, say I do not know. I have to improve in my knowledge. So you do not know nothing about anything. That you must understand. We are all lay people, that's what we are believing. Don't believe so. For example, I am telling you a diabetes. What is diabetes? When they see blood sugar or urine sugar, you got diabetes. In the blood, the sugar level is increased. In the urine, the sugar level is increased, so you have diabetes. Right? Is the diagnosis over? At that point of time, you test your kidneys also. The kidneys are 100% effectively functioning. Later on, only the kidneys are going to be affected. Kidneys are 100% functional. There is no disease at all in the kidney. What is the function of a kidney? Anybody knows? Remove the waste from the blood stream and throw it out through the urinary bladder. That is the function of kidney. Whatever is there as waste in your bloodstream, pick it up, throw it out. 100% effectively, normally functioning kidney will remove only the waste. It will not remove what is a food substance inside the running stream of blood. We understand, this is our common understanding, this is our common concept, and this is the truth. 100% efficient and normally functioning kidney can remove only the waste from the bloodstream. You do a total body scanner, you do all the tests necessary to assess the function of the kidney. Functioning of kidney is 100% effective. There is no abnormality in the functioning of the kidney. Now you find in the urine a sugar. It is a bad sugar, it is a waste one, or it is a nutritive one. Reversely, you can see if 100% effectively functioning kidney, if it throws out a portion of your sugar, that means if it is qualitatively poor sugar or qualitatively the best sugar that you can utilize. It is the qualitatively very, very bad sugar, poisonous sugar. As you see in your cholesterol, the good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, in sugar also there is good sugar and bad sugar. Quality is important, not the quantity. The moment I take my food, instantly the sugar content is assessed by the pancreas. The moment it enters my stomach, instantly a portion, the quality of the sugar is assessed by the pancreas. It is taken up. The energy is taken up to the pancreas and it is assessed. Kidneys also come into force that this sugar should not be utilized by the body. This sugar cannot be utilized by the body because this is a bad sugar. Sugar is the ultimate energy for my activities, both mentally and physically. In this instance, we strongly commit to understand. Thereafter, we will not be wavering. What my mind teaches me far superior than what the book teaches me. Because the book is knowledge, my mind is wisdom. Prefer to stay with the wisdom, prefer to stay with the pondering, reflecting on whatever I hear before I am allowing the energy, the knowledge to the heart. Don't get your heart unnecessarily disturbed by the knowledge that you see, by the knowledge that you hear, the knowledge that you feel, taste, or whatever. 100% be effective, subservient to your mind rather than becoming a slave to the knowledge. Knowledge has to grow. All the time it has to grow. All the time it is substandard. Don't believe in the substandard knowledge. Now we understand this particular sugar should not be utilized by the body, so it is thrown out. The kidneys recognize that bad sugar and throws it out. Is it process or wrong process? The body system throws it out. The kidneys are 100% normal. It is right to throw out this bad sugar from the blood. Still the bad sugar is circulating. So you can see the increased amount of blood in the sugar in the blood as well as in the sugar, as well as in the urine. Whether it's a normal one or an abnormal one. You don't have to be a doctor for this. Just assess in your mind. We are all better healers than the doctors who only doctor the meter. They will alter you. Your understanding ability is gone. Any person is a doctor except the doctor who has studied. He is devoid of common sense. You must be very careful in assessing a person. If it is suitable to my heart, the wisdom that is there as my wish, then I accept it. If it is contradictory to my heart, the wisdom, the blessing that I have in my heart, if it is contradictory, they are not only against me, they are against nature, not only that, they are against the God. Be empowered with the blessings of God. That godly feeling, goodly feeling is there in your heart. First thing we understood, don't give anti-fever medicine, it will cause febrile fits. When it diminishes the temperature, extinguishing the heat here and there, not uniformly, wherever there is a block, before and after, then the problem starts there. I gave only one example in the brain level, anywhere it can start. And thereafter you can start suffering organ ailments and organ dysfunction, finally organ failures. Your life is here. You believe there is life. You lose your heart, there is no life. The life is there in the heart, not in the pumping station, but the heart. Another name to the heart is there, manasa. Be mindful what is there in the heart. That is your life. Nothing more is your life. If everything happens according to my wish in my heart, then I want to live. If nothing happens, whatever I wish, the wish that I have in my heart, if it doesn't come out practically well, I am vexed with my life, I don't want my life, I might even hang myself, committing suicide. When nothing comes out practically well, whatever I have in my heart, as my deepest wishes, for so long nothing happens. However hard I try, it doesn't happen, so I don't want to live. In this situation, even in your worst situations like suffering from any fever, when it is incurable, you may opt for mercy killing. You don't want to live. If only there is a way, there is life for you, then you want to live. My life is there, going ahead of me forever and forever. My body will die, my life will not die. The life departs, body definitely disintegrates. Now it is between the life and death. You want the life or you want the death? The life is here, the death is here in the brain. Whatever I see, whatever I hear, smell, touch and taste, this is my knowledge. The 5 special senses accumulates through observation to concretely place a knowledge in your brain. Input, that's the input. So whatever is visible, it has as knowledge. That visibility always heading towards a destruction. The moment it is created, it is pure. It is very glittering. After some time, the decaying starts. The moment you are born, you are pristine pure. After that, I am 1 year old, 2 year old, the old age starts. You never get your pristine purity in terms of your energy condition until such time you maintain your life, or until such time you meet your death. Slowly degradation is taking place. Slow degradation. Anything that is formed, it will disintegrate and it will deteriorate. A formation, a thing will deteriorate. What is invisible will accelerate your body. It will accelerate your life. Quality of life, that's important. Quantity is not important. I am now entering 57. Not a single medicine I had taken for the past 22 years. Not only me, my whole family members and thousands of family who have come to me for treatment, they are devoid of any medicine. In so many instances nowadays who are under the belief system, they give birth to their children at home. They will never go to the doctors. No 10-month medication, poisoning the ongoing fetus, poisoning the mother also in the process, endangering the uterine condition. Later on, the uterine condition deteriorating into cyst formation and then cancer formation, and finally they remove the uterus. A lady goes to the doctor asking her to cure a disease in the uterus. But this doctor removes the uterus itself and says he has cured. The cure must take place while still the uterus is intact. Make it function properly and let the untoward feelings and the sufferings go. Let it come back to its normalcy again. But this doctor knows only to remove the uterus, nothing more she knows. She removes the uterus and then says that I have cured you, and I also accept that she has cured me. You are given so many tests, subjected to so many investigations. This investigation is necessary for the doctor or for you. Then why do you carry the report home? Why do you carry the report home? For the money you spend, at least this I can carry home. If this is our attitude, then the doctors are flourishing upon us. You throw the investigations on the doctor's table, say, I want a cure, I don't want the report. I don't want the report, you keep the report, don't give it to me, I'm not a doctor. You keep the report and give me the health I wanted. No doctor will ever subject you again for any investigation. Absolute frauds, you must understand. I was a fraud and I was a killer until 1986, as long as I was practicing allopathy. In the best sense, all along I have been struggling with the professors. When I entered my 4th year of study, bacteriology, after the bacteriology, pathology. What is pathology? A cell, from the beginning of destruction to the end of destruction, is pathology, the process of pathology. They call it pathogenesis. Pathos means suffering or destruction. The process of destruction is called pathology. What causes the destruction is the real force behind, right? What causes the destruction is the real force behind. Suppose I hold a paper and it is hanging still. I wave with a fan and it starts trembling and moving. Yes, it is moving. It is not standing still. It is wavering. Now I know it is fluttering. Something is wrong. I see here, science sees this, but not the force that is causing it. All the scientific approach are materialistic and they have nothing to have anything concrete as evidential concepts. They have the thesis and hypothesis of pure imagination. Any thesis, any hypothesis is not only imagination but is hallucination. Nothing is true. We are being mesmerized. The louder the talk, the more we hear, the easier we are lost in the deepest of woods. Thereafter, even a small light, I want to hold on to it, but that light is not my way. Find out from your own instincts and intuition what I should follow now. The pathology is, as the fan is running faster and faster, this movement is getting stronger and finally it is torn. That is pathology. The destruction, beginning of destruction to the end of destruction is pathology. Once the destruction is started, you are not going to do anything about it. The energy lines, energy force is now gaining momentum unless you stop this momentum. This is acupuncture. Energy system. It understands the energy system. No other system understands the energy lines. So the pathology is a very visible, scientifically well known, it sees to believe. There is no need to believe when you see it. Any dog can see and believe it. You are human beings. Perceive. Perceptional quality is exceptional quality of man. Believe in that. Don't forget, close your heart. The more you believe in the wisdom, the gateway of knowledge is open. Of life. Whatever knowledge we have is about the past. Need is so new knowledge is necessary. The old knowledge is insufficient. It is like jumping halfway through a well with half-hearted knowledge, application of knowledge. Jumping with all your strength, only half-hearted, you are crossing half well, no more than that. Don't believe in the knowledge. Essentially believe in your heart. The need is there within me, but no knowledge is available in the entire world to apply this. Now believe the knowledge has to sprout and blossom from the wisdom. The gateways of wisdom will open and the knowledge will come out. That is the beginning of my life. That is the beginning of my strength. When I don't want this allopathy to be practiced yet, I am not simply shutting down my clinic and staying home. I am deeply inside of me. I want something there. The whole world denounces this. But there is a strong reinforcement from within me that there must be a way, because there is something so good in my heart. I should not give medication. All medication is wrong. Every medicine is chemical. Every food is biological. You need food or chemical. Food is biological, giving you life. Medicine is non-biological, takes your life away. You need medicine or food? Food. We must know how to eat food. We must know how to drink. The drinking and food modalities must be assessed today. There is a fever. What you will do now? If you listen to the people, then they will say bread, bun, pal, milk, Horlicks, even worse. Chemicals they will be giving, but they will be restricting the food. Follow your instincts, follow your intuition. Every single movement will be guided by your intuition. This is the major guiding force for me, the intuitive force. Don't follow the institutional elements. Be a man of intuition. Now all of you know how to tackle a fever. Fever is the most dreaded one that we can have in our family. Immediately the fever must be put down. No, respect the fever. When the fever comes, you will know the bodily mechanism, normal bodily mechanism, the natural mechanism is to help my digestion, to help my activity, physical activity, and to a little extent my mental activity also. This is for what we require energy. In some untoward situations, serious situations, or an inimical force entering into my body and the defense force now starts. Like a war develops between India and Pakistan, all the resources are mobilized there. I have to suffer a little bit. All my things are given away to protect my borders. Likewise, when a difficult situation starts to fight against a disease, there is a war going on. So, all my physical energy is now diverted into defense energy. This you can understand very well. I wanted a board, but I think the board is not necessary. You can understand very well without a board. There is everything that I am speaking to you, what you already know. I am not speaking anything that you do not know. When you are acknowledging me, that means I am not telling anything new. I am bringing to your remembrance what you have forgotten because you had been drawn towards their knowledge. I purposely place the board, but I don't use the board because the board is unnecessary when your heart is there. It is not a mere fabric of muscles having chambers. What makes the heart tick, you must understand. What makes the heart tick? Is it love? Love for what? So a need is activating your heart. The belief in the need activates your heart, not the love. Love for nothing, but concretely I want this for myself. For myself, my need is different. For yourself, your need is different. If there are 500 people are there, 500 different needs are there at any one point of time. And within the same individual, between 2 points of time, my need at one point is different, the other point is different. Believe in what you want. Don't believe in the people, the knowledge, the possessions, however great they may be having. Wealth-wise or gadget-wise or knowledge-wise. The knowledge is about the past. What I need is tomorrow's life is my life. I am worried about tomorrow. Have you seen the worry? No, but I still believe I have worry. I have your life. John, I have your life in me. Have you seen the life? No life. But you have to believe. Scientifically, I am not able to see the life. You can see the signs of life, but not the life. Science is a rotten one. Most hated one. Seeing is believing. Any animal can see and believe. Don't have to be a man for that. Believe in the unseen. The unseen future is what my need is, but I have no way. Let us see tomorrow. What are you going to see tomorrow that you don't know today? What are you going to see tomorrow that you don't know today? But still the belief is there. I am struggling hard throughout my daytime over a problem that I have incurred because using my knowledge, my mouth and hands. I do not know what to do. Now I go to sleep, thinking maybe tomorrow things will be solved. Without you do nothing, you believe that it will be tomorrow. Okay. If you think that tomorrow will not be a okay day for you, you will not sleep the night. If you still harbor that feeling of worry, sadness in you when the night falls, and you don't detach yourself from the problem, leave it in the dark, things will be better. That's your feel. Tomorrow, things definitely are better. How? You have slept. No responsibilities at all for you. Throughout the day, you are responsible enough to solve the problem, but the night comes, you have no responsibility. Irresponsibly, you want to sleep. 1 day, 2 days, sleep is not there. Let me go to hell, but the sleep must be necessary for me. So being inactive is not inactive, being freeing myself from that stressful life. The stress is your knowledge. The stress to the mind results in the strain to the body. That is a physical ailment. Stress to the mind causes strain to the body. Mind wants one thing, definitely only one thing. There are no two ways about this is what you want, but using your knowledge, you discard it, denounce it, it is impossible. Then the conflict begins. This is the stressful point. This is the beginning of stress. This definitely inflicts injury. This is the pathological force. This is the destructive force. This destructive force causes weakness in the organs, thereafter damaging the organs. Don't allow your organs to be damaged in this angle. Stress is your mind wants one thing, but you denounce it because of your knowledge. The knowledge is insufficient to carry out my wish. Then discard the wish, discard the knowledge, don't discard the wish. The knowledge has to improve. But the wish, the wisdomful wish is total. It's a total entity. It's total embodiment. It will conduct you in your later life. The more you believe, the more you're free, the more is the thinking ability, and the more is the absorption. The intelligence grows, the intuition develops. There, your life is there. Believe it is going to be there. Believing in the unseen is believing. Without belief, there is no life. You know there is a belief necessary for you. Without belief, there is no life at all. Don't believe in your knowledge. Believe in yourself. Self is the Atma, the soul, that provides you with a need to your mind. The mind is energizing the life energy, and the life energy is triggering your entire system into activity. Now we have 4 compartments. One is your body. Body is infused with the blood, and blood circulation, you think it is making you survive. Suppose I have a numbness in my upper limb. They say, no blood circulation. What you can do immediately? Normally, doctors say no blood circulation, so do the exercise. I cannot do exercise, so a physiotherapist is appointed, so he can bend my arms and stretch my arms, giving me exercise. If my limb is working, it is exercise for me. If somebody else comes and bends and stretches, it is exercise for him, not for me. A physiotherapist exercising himself using my limb, when I cannot move my limb, what is the point? He comes and stretches and relaxes my limb, and then it is exercise for him, not for me. English system of medicine is a rotten one, you must understand. Absolute lack of common sense. A rigidly lack of common sense. Most hated thing on earth is allopathy, that you must understand. Believe in your energizing channels. Believe in your heart. Now, you can, this arm is, they say that it is lack of circulation, right? That's why it is numb. Now cut open this with a blade. See if the blood is running or not. Negative. This is all you know. How many elements are there? Just before our professor, Dr. B.M. Hegde, was telling that it's not just H2O. It is so many other elements. 196, 218 elements are there in the air. The whole element joins in perfect proportions to cause this water, not the H2O. It's only a liquid, it's not a water. Now we are holding, doctor said it is only a container of poison. Don't drink the container fluid, container water. It's a fluid. It looks like a water, it is not water. That is a sterile water, right? No organisms are there, it's a sterile water. I ask you, if no organisms are there, not a single organism can survive in that water, this water is going to give you life? Any knowledge is pre-existing. We have forgotten, and now we are searching for it. And then drop it again, research it. Drop it again, research it. Research is not good. Be resourceful all the time. Be a man of resources. That is there in your heart as your life. That life is there, is a total embodiment, entity. Totally it is engulfed by the wisdom. The wish is there, the wisdom is surrounding it. The more you believe the gate of wisdom will open and the practical knowledge will develop. That is the knowledge of future. Now we know the life is so important for us to conduct the feel and activity. Unless I have the feel, there's no activity. My limbs are okay, my fingers are okay, it is numb, I am not able to even lift my finger, even I do not know whether I have a finger or not, it is like a wood like. Unless I have the sensitivity, there is no way that I can use my bodily parts. So I must have the life energy for me. That life energy sensitizes. If I touch this, it is not the finger that touches it, but it is the life energy that feels it. Feeling, I cannot assess. The life energy, I cannot see, but an object I can see and lift. The life energy lifts the object purposefully. So, the life energy has to be preserved. It cannot be acquired. Through the exercise, again, modern medicine induced knowledge. Do exercise so that you will be trim and healthy and hearty. This exercise relieves the energy that is there in your body of you, or it gives energy. Doing exercise gives you energy or makes you spend the energy from yourself. It is spending the energy or acquiring the energy, doing the exercise. Why do you want to spend the energy? Why do you want to waste the energy in the morning? Because we follow the people. If you were to follow the people on earth, most of the people, what they do, they will take you away from the straight path and lead you in the path of error. We will go astray. Don't ever follow the way of another person. You have your wisdom, you have your wish, and the wish will open up the gateways of wisdom, and new knowledge will develop from within you. Follow that, you will be living forever without the need of another person. I deep within myself feel, nobody can assess, nobody can say that I am not able to see through the microscope or laboratory procedures. There's no feeling like that. I must survive. Not only survive, live a life of grandeur. When you see somebody is doing so good and you are so little, no, there is much beyond than this. It is there in the heart. This is the godly feeling, this is the goody feeling. Any goody feeling is the godly feeling. I have a godly feeling that I must live without the help of protection of any person. Now I resign to my heart and I retreat to my heart, and there I am now. The godly feeling enters my sanctum sanctorum. I am enshrining what is impossible for others but possible for God. If we are believers in God, I hope most of us believe in God. If you are a believer in God, now show your belief in strength and perseverance and steadfastness. I hold on to that belief forever until the last day when my life will depart and my body will perish. Come back to this point. You are very haggard, you are very tired during your day's time, full of work. Now the tiredness comes to you. You are going to sleep. If you follow the modern medicine, because you are tired, you must gain energy, go out, get up, and go to the beach at 10 o'clock in the night, start walking until daytime comes. So that you can imbibe energy, right? This gives you strength. But you sleep in the night, in the morning, there is no pain, no tiredness, no uneasiness. The last night's slumber is not there. I am refreshed with new lease of life and life energy. Where from this has come? Your sleep gives you energy or your workout gives you energy now, tell me. How come then my body is so strong then after the exercise? It is like automatically it flexes, no? Now my hand is lying down like this. When I do the exercise, I will be like this. It is so tight. Your body is no more flexible. It is almost like a semi-rigor mortis. When you are dead, within 2 to 3 hours, your body will go into a rigidity and contraction. Because I am constantly flexing my muscle, this very, very loose vascular tissues, very minute vascular cells, and the vessels that is going to. The more tight my muscles are, the blood vessels that is going through my muscles, it is pressed, hard pressed, not allowing the blood to enter it. That's the reason in that particular part alone, a semi-rigor mortis-like syndrome appears. If you stop doing the exercise, after that the flexibility comes back again. This is the reparative process of a person, an individual, a life's process. Self-reparative process. When you're tightening your muscle, the blood circulation stops because inside the muscles constricted, no blood passes through it. It is almost in a dead state, semi-rigor mortis-like condition develops. That's the reason why after some time no blood need to pass through that, because it's already dead. And your heart rate also slows down. Maybe from 72 per minute, they call it athletic pulse. They call it as a good sign. No, it's a dead sign. Your body is not properly functioning. Most of your bodily muscles have gone very tight. It is dead, like no need for the blood pressure, blood to reach there. So it is in a dead condition. 72 per minute is not necessary. 60 beats per minute is sufficient for you. So it is death word, symptom. Don't think that it is a good symptom for you. Believe your system of understanding is based on scientific process. Then what actually required is the system of understanding is believing in the unseen wisdom, a wish that is there in your heart. As long as I keep up that wish, I want to live. If I disregard my wish, then I have to follow the life of the people, the standards of the people, whereby I will be in doldrums in the days to come. So get relieved of your possibilities of getting yourself left in the lurch. Elevate your position from this moment onwards. You believe in what you have in your heart and never again believe in the people's standards of living. That standards of living is not our life. Don't do the exercise, very important. Common sense must play in it. Don't follow the people, very important, so that right ways are there. You will not be suffering amnesia of your inherent intuitive capacity. Fill up your heart with the wisdom. Throw away the knowledge from the heart. Let the knowledge be here. Let it not enter here. The knowledge is the study of the past. What you require is the future. The future is not in your hands. The wish is there that will conduct you towards the future. I don't want to suffer any disease. And weight reduction is another problem. They ask you to starve and do the exercise. I am already starving, no energy. And then exercise, further I am spending energy. I am growing weak or stronger now. Can you assess what my weight will be at the age of 57? I am 105 kg. And I hate exercise. I will never, once I go home, I will sleep. Beautiful sleep, and then get up. Because sleep gives you energy. Don't do exercise, trouble your system, waste your energy. Expected lifespan will shorten if you do your exercise. This energy is very much essential for you. Once you gain your food, gain an energy from the food, it is not only for your body but for the mind also. We forget the mind part. This energy must be utilized, the food energy must be utilized by the mind also. A laborer works throughout the day. He gets tired only a very little. An executive thinks and thinks. Within 5 minutes he wants a tea. Within 10 minutes he wants a tea. So much is the absorption of energy when you are in the thinking process. So much of thinking process is necessary, so much of energy is necessary that most part, 90% or 95% or 99% or 100% is sufficient for the mind, not to the body. Mind is conducting the body, not the body is conducting the mind. How sure we are in this now? Whether the body is conducting the mind or the mind is conducting the body. Mind has control over the body or the body has control over the mind. Which of it is true? Mind is controlling the body or the body is controlling the mind? Mind is controlling the body. Then mind must have the energy to control the body. The body is a slave to the mind, you must understand. But you give importance to the body. Total body scanner. What the body scanner can teach you? Nothing. Nothing it can show to you. Believe in the mind. Total 100% energy must be there in the mind. It must guide your body. So many people are here. So many people are going for lunch. So many people are going for toilet. But some people are there. Though there is an urgency to go to the toilet and empty the bladder, you command to your bladder, stay quiet until it is finishes off. Mind be the master of your body. If such is the case, if mind can have a hold, a strong hold, conduct the body. If there is a disease in your body, let it be a kidney failure, let it be a cancer, as you have told. Now your inherent need is get cured of it. Whose word is this? Doctor will say you will die. We believe next to God the doctors. But even before the doctor opened the mouth, there is one feeling here, get cured of it. Only one word, nothing more to that. Whose word is it? Whose word is it? God's word. That word must be revered. That is the intelligence of future. That is the wisdom unfolding into practical knowledge in the future. Knowledge is what is available. Wisdom is what is yet to be revealed as knowledge. Believe in that wisdom. Believe in that wish. The knowledge of yours will save you. Never believe in the people. Your mind has full control over the body. When you can have the control over the bladder, upon which nobody can have control for long. But still, you can have your control over your bladder. Why not when the disease is there, when the disease is sprouting from within your organ, command is there, get cured of it and stay quiet, command it. Nothing is going to be there. Give the command and do your duty. Don't keep on seeing whether it is acting according to your command or not. Don't listen to the outside voices, the knowledge of the people, the knowledge of the specialists. They are specialists in killing, messy killing. Now I believe in my inner self. This goodly word is a godly word. Now I believe in the God. I have not seen God. Nobody has seen God before now or going to see Him ever. But I know this is godly word. Nobody has seen the life, but you believe in the life? Because I have not seen the life, I will not believe in the life. You have your John Manasseh mind, you have. You believe in your mind. Have you seen the mind? What do these scientists will tell now? Unless I see it. We are all scientific people. Go to hell, I say. Science is rotten, science is rubbish, science is roguish. Believe in the unseen wisdom in no two uncertain terms. Definitely, you want a relief, you want a cure. I want a cure, not the relief. Who else can say except the God? The godly words are there. I preserve. I do the puja to the word of God that's there in my heart now. I will not enter the mosque. That is no godly word, I won't believe. This is my personal thing. For 19, 20 years now since I have entered a mosque. I will not pray the ritual prayers also at my home. Constantly, 100%, all the time, I revere the godliness that's there in me. This is the masjid for me. I have no identification like this and this. Nothing is there with me unless I say my name, you will not understand who I am. God has created man, not a Hindu man, Muslim man, or Christian man. Either you be a human being or reduce yourself even worse than an animal, that's all. Human creation is the highest of all creations because he has the proximity to God. Either believe in that oneness and onliness that's there in the heart, believe this heart is my pilgrimage center. I start my work, I start my yatra towards achieving this. For once you achieve what is there in your heart without the aid of the knowledge of the people, then you have completed your Punita Yatra. Don't waste your time. Holy sight, the holy word of godliness. I am not saying God, I have not seen God. The godliness is there because none can create it for me except God, who has stamped it in my heart that I cannot leave it at all. Even if I denounce it, constantly I'll be wanting to reliving it. This is where you are now. Don't follow the people, either in terms of medicine or in terms of worship. Stay with Him. Stay all the time in the depth of your hearts. Start living there. Only see what is there. I believe, except for God, for godliness, except for my pure future. I do the puja now. I will not touch my wish, the wish, wisdomful wish, with a slightest suspicion, then this holy shrine is spoilt. I have no other place to reside for now. I will be thrown out. Leaving this, I am going to so many places as mosques, temples, churches, so many places. I have gone far away, leaving this beautiful site, leaving this holy site. It's there within me. God speaking to me all the time. You must be okay, you must be okay, you must be okay. But when I go to some shrine, there's an intermediary who stops me at the gate of the sanctum sanctorum. He goes inside and prays for me and comes out. And before that, God has told me that you must be okay here, speaking to me direct. All the things that I require is whether you say Amen or not. Amen means accepted. You want this, I say Amen, Amen, accepted. After that, once the pact is over between you and him, when you wantedly, you have taken up that wish as your deepest in your heart, and nothing more in your life is necessary than this. After the pact is over, after the promise is over between you and God, God gave you, this is what your life is, take it. Now how beautiful it would be if it happens to me. You accepted it. After that, don't suspect. There is some belief between the pact of belief between you and God. நம்பிக்கை கொண்டாகிவிட்டது. நம்பிக்கை கொண்ட பிறகு துரோகம் செய்ய வேண்டாம், சந்தேகிக்க வேண்டாம். நம்பிக்கை துரோகம் தெய்வ குத்தமாக ஆகும். Accepting God, then don't suspect. It is a criminal injustice that you have done to yourself in the eyes of God. Don't think that God has wronged you. You wronged yourself by stepping out of that sanctum sanctorum, that beautiful holy site of yours, the depth of your heart. And you go away, wherever you want to go, you go away, but finally you have to return. When everybody relieves you that they promise that I will cure you, but they cannot. Finally, you are left in the darkness. There, you believe that you come back to yourself. எவ்வளவு தூரம் கடந்து போனீங்களோ இந்த உண்மையான ஒரு தெய்வ ஆலயத்தை விட்டுட்டு கம் பேக் அகைன், கடந்து உள்ள வர வேண்டியது கடவுள். திஸ் இஸ் தி பாத். கம் பேக். In the process that you had gone, come back to the position. There the godliness is there. So எவ்வளவு தூரம் கடந்து போனீங்களோ கடந்து திரும்ப உள்ள வாங்க. This is கடவுள். This is the passage. This is the way of God that we have made it as God. Now believe. Your time is very short. I have touched upon various topics. Finally, I will be touching upon the medicine also before we leave. Blood is circulating throughout your body to meet the required nutrition, where and how much of nutrition is necessary for each and every organ. This organ requires one energy, this organ requires another energy, and my stomach requires another energy, and the energy what it requires is different between one organ to another, one cell to another, one tissue to another. At any point of time, the signals is sent to the heart. From every single cell, the signal, how much of energy is required, how much of pressure is required, how much of nutrition is required, everything is sent to the heart, and with one beat, the message, the signal starts. The heart signal starts. The signal flows and the blood follows. This is the blood circulation. Suppose I am normal. 120 by 80 is my blood circulation, my blood pressure. And 72 beats per minute is my required heart rate. Suppose I have a disease here in the liver. This portion is weak also. This portion requires more energy or less energy. This energy is required by the ailing organ. The energy required by it is more or less? More. This extra energy that an ailing organ that it requires sent to the heart, now more energy must be given by way of more circulation, because circulation has the energy for it. And with a greater pressure so that it is infused, because it is weak to absorb. So with a greater pressure also it comes. Now the 120 by 80 must increase in its pressure, or it should be reduced in pressure. So 140 by 90 is a good sign and a bad sign. 200 by 120 is a good sign and a bad sign. So follow that. Don't follow the doctors. Total idiocy. Morons. Don't follow them. Follow your sense. You are much better than a doctor. You teach the doctor. They should not open their mouth. They know only the instruments. They do not know what a human being is. முதல்ல நான் தமிழில் கேட்குறேன், உயிர் உடலை பாதுகாக்குதா, உடல் உயிரை பாதுகாக்குதா? The life saves the body or the body saves the life? உயிர் உடலை பாதுகாக்குதா, உடல் உயிரை பாதுகாக்குதா? உறுப்புகள் தானம் பண்ணிட்டு உடலை பாதுகாப்பு உயிரை பாதுகான்னு சொல்றீங்க. உறுப்பு தானங்கள் பண்ணுனா, organ donation if you do, I am saving the life. How contradictory, conflicting. How contradictory and conflicting. This is because of the allopathy, because of the modern medicine, because of a medicine that has total lack of common sense. Don't believe anything the doctors say. Simple tip for you. Never believe the doctors, then what to do? Whatever they say, act against it, you will be okay. Mind has the control over the body. God's word is there. Be okay tomorrow, financially, health-wise, mind-wise, family-wise, society-wise. Be happy. Have a good life for you. Never believe in anything but believe me alone. The acknowledgement that I am getting from you is an indication I have not taught you anything, you know everything. I submit and I say bye to you.